Okay, good evening. There are 8 people. I don't know whether there are some more. That's why I was waiting. So, there are 9 people now. Okay, right. So, we are going to do action research. I think that is one of the major subject in our course. Can you all hear me and can you see? I think you can't see. Ne? We have to share this. No. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes,
Yes?
yes,
Right.
we can see the screen.
Okay, right. So as you think, what is an action research? What is an action research? The word itself talks about it. What is an action research? What comes to your mind when you hear this word? Anything that comes to your mind when you hear the word action research? Nothing comes to your mind? Action is something practical, that we do something, right? So then action research is also a kind of research. There are different types of research, scientific research. So under scientific research, we have survey, and there are so many types of experimental research. There are so many. So action research is something done by the practitioners, right? So the practitioners, in many fields, we are doing action research in medicine, nursing, psychology, sociology, education. In these fields that we do action research. So who does action research? Yes, if we consider about education, who does action research? Yes, Kaushalya? Mafasa? Who does action research? Who engage in action research?
Those who do higher
Teachers,
education,
doctors,
teachers.
Yeah.
nurses.
Yeah. In education, especially the teachers. Right. So then if we consider about teachers, regarding what can they do action research? Are you all teachers or you are just doing this course expecting to become teachers? Are there teachers among you?
Yes.
Okay. Kaushalya, then Mafasa, are you a teacher?
The research regarding the students.
Yeah, I am asking whether are you a teacher? Jayakala, are you a teacher?
Yes, I am a
Are
teacher.
you?
Yeah. Yes, I am a teacher.
Are you a teacher?
Yes, I am a teacher.
Okay. Right. Then, regarding what can teachers do action research? Action research means something they do.
Regarding student studies or environment.
Okay. What else?
Teaching methods.
Now oh, she says regarding students' studies, teachers can do action research. What else?
Methodology, teaching methods.
Yes. So if the teacher wants to test a kind of method that the teacher is teaching. As an example, have you heard about flipped classroom model? Has anybody heard about flipped classroom model? Altino, flipped classroom. You have not heard? Have you heard about blended learning? You haven't heard about blended learning? Why? So during COVID, that lots of these kind of things came to the
Flip class mean online classes and through the
not only the online classes.
through the WhatsApp website we are teaching something.
Mhm. So then flipped classroom means that both online and offline. That means now the students are given some activities or some tasks. So they are given some specific websites or articles. So they are sent videos to study. And then next day when they come to the class, they are assigned with some activities based on what they learn from online, right? So they study things at they study things online at home, and once they come to the class, based on what they learned, they are doing some activities offline. So that is called flipped classroom model, right? So blended learning is also the same. Blended means both online and offline, both are used. So flipped classroom comes under blended learning. So hybrid learning, there's another thing called hybrid learning. Hybrid learning means that at the same time, a part of students, they learn face to face, and while it is happening, some other students, they are online, right? So then teacher is teaching in the class, and some students, they learn face to face, like physically, and other students at the same time, so they learn online the same lesson, right? So now action research, by doing action, who will improve by doing action research? Who will improve by doing action research? Now you told that action research can be done for students, and action research can be done to test teaching methodologies, effectiveness of teaching methodologies, whether it is good or not. Then who will improve by doing action research?
Teacher and the student both.
Mainly the teacher, the one who does it.
Yeah.
Right? Mainly the teacher. The byproduct is students. Why? Because the teacher is using different activities, techniques to improve the students. So thereby, teacher learns that if I use these kind of things, I can improve my students. So these activities should be done to make them engage in the activities actively. So like that, teachers, they improve by doing action research. As a byproduct, students also improve. Then, right. So then, action research is focused on solving problem or informing individual and community-based knowledge in a way that impacts teaching, learning, and other related processes, right? So it is less focused on contribution of theoretical input. That means that theories are not much considered in action research. They consider the practical component. So now, like solving a problem. So what kind of problems the teachers encounter mostly in the classroom? What kind of problems can the teacher solve through action research? Tell me. What are the problems teachers encounter? Being teachers, what are the problems you encounter in the classroom?
Students literacy.
Yeah. So then some students can't write properly, right? Right. So then What else?
Writing skills of the
Mm.
students. Writing.
Okay. To improve writing skills. They are poor in their writing, so need to improve their writing skills. That's a problem. You need to solve it. Then what else?
Irregular
Maybe the
commas.
students, they don't regular.
Irregular commas.
That means
School.
absenteeism. The students get absent. So then it's also a
And the
problem.
reason.
Absenteeism.
Yeah.
Then some students, they don't like to work in groups. So when you give them a group activity, they don't like to work in groups. So they like to work alone. They don't like to work in groups. So it's also a problem. When you are given group activities, you expect them to collaborate and do the work, but they don't. So it's a problem, right? So then action research is focused on solving a problem. So then if the teacher encounters a problem, so it is expected to solve it, right, through action research. Then it is less focused on theoretical input. So they don't consider about the theories, but the practical components. So in using theories, if they can use the practical components, so that is considered in action research, right? Then in schools, action research refers to a wide variety of evaluative, investigative, and analytical research methods designed to diagnose problems or weaknesses. So then they use evaluation, they investigate, they analytically identify the problems or weaknesses in the school or in the classroom. So academic work. Then through action research, so then it is that they find practical solutions to practical solutions for the problems they encounter. Right. Then same thing. The other thing is action research may also be called a cycle of actions. So it is, I'll show you later on what is this cycle. It has a cycle of actions, right? Action research addresses practical problems in a specific school or classroom. The most important thing is that the practical problems are, so they find solutions for these practical problems, right? Okay. It is specifically solving a specific problem encountered by the teachers. Okay, right, we'll see. I'll show you that cycle. So there's a lot of unnecessary things. Okay, you can read them leisurely. I will send you. So I'll show you that cycle. So this is the cycle of action research that this was given by Kurt Lewin. So what did Kurt Lewin show? Planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. First of all, you have to plan the action. You have to plan what you do. Then you have to implement what you have planned. Then you have to observe what was happening in the classroom. Then you have to reflect whether it was successful or whether it needs to be revised, whether something else is added to the process. So then after identifying the shortcomings, again you plan. So it's a cyclic process like this here. Plan, act means implement, observe, reflect. Then again you plan. If there are some flaws or if there are some shortcomings, you again plan, implement, observe, reflect. So like it's a cyclic process. It goes on, right? Like this. Then if we consider about differences between action research and other research, action research is different from other research because we find solutions for the problems we encounter in our day-to-day life. Maybe in our schools, in our classroom, right? So that traditional research, that they sometimes they use survey method, they find data, right? And they consider theories, they need a lot of data to do the research. But here action research, it is not like that. So they do some actions to improve something or to find solutions, right? Okay. So these are the differences between other research and action research. So other research, that it should be done by expert researchers. Action research can be done by any person, any practitioner. Then other one, theory building here. So they are based on day-to-day practice-based problems. Then other research takes a long time, but action research can be done during a short period of time, even from within 3 months, 2 months, even 1 month. Then fundamental research, random sample is taken, randomly they select people, but here purpose sample, because we have a purpose. As an example, in your classroom, if there are about, now imagine when you are giving some tests, there are about 8 students who can't write properly. So you select these students for your research. So purposively you select them. So it is called purposive sample. With a purpose, select purposive sampling. Then this evaluation is done by experts in other research, but here evaluation is done by the practitioner, the teacher who does the research. Then other research, standardized tools are used, but here teacher can make some tools, some questionnaire, activities, right? So then other research, complex and rigid research design they use, but here very simple and flexible design. Action research is a very simple and flexible thing. What is that? Okay, I'll show this to you. Okay, I show it to you. Right. Is it? Let's see whether I can enlarge this. Can you see the screen? Why?
Yes,
yes.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. I'll go to the first slide. Okay. Right. I think you can see now. It was enlarged. Right. So, can you read these letters? According to TOMA 2003, what is an action research? Can anybody read? Yes, it is conducted by people who
People
want to.
who
Yes,
want
read.
to,
Yeah.
who want to do something to improve their own situation. Action researchers undertake a study because they want to know whether they can do something in better way.
Something in a better way.
Better way.
Right. So then, according to Toma, who has studied about action research in 2003, in his article, he has written action research is conducted by people. What kind of people? Who want to do something to improve their own situation. They want, imagine they have some kind of problem, so they want to find some solution. So these people, they are called action researchers who do this research, undertake a study because they want to know whether they can do something in a better way. They want to know that by doing this action research, whether they can do something better. Right. What is Edelman says about action research? He cites Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin is the one who I showed you a diagram, that cyclic process. It was introduced by Kurt Lewin. That is Kurt Lewin's diagram. So then Edelman in 1993, he cites Kurt Lewin's. And what does he say? What is an action research? Can somebody read that? Yes, action research gives credence to the development of powers of reflective thought. So we reflect, we plan, we implement, we observe and reflect. එක අපෝ රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් කරනවා මොකද්ද මට හරියට කරගන්න පුළුවන් මොනවද බැරි වුනේ මොකක්ද ආයි කරන්න ඕනි. Right, then we have discussion, taking decision or action. Right, then next one, what is this? Action research is a practitioner driven. Practitioner driven means action research is done by a person, a practitioner. Who is the practitioner in the classroom? Yes, who is the practitioner in the classroom? This action research is done by whom?
Teacher.
Teacher. Right? It's a reflective process where individuals or groups investigate shared problems in their own context. They reflect. After doing it, they reflect what, so they think back what I did. So what happened? What should I change? What kind of activities should I add? What went good? What went wrong? Right? Like that. So then action research is a practitioner driven reflective process. A reflection. Reflection is the major thing where individuals or groups investigate shared problems in their own context. Right? Okay, we'll go to the next one. Right. Characteristics of action research. Can somebody read? What are the characteristics of action research? Yes? Can somebody read?
Conducted by
One by one.
Conducted by practitioners, not outside researchers.
Yes. So it is, the action research is conducted by the practitioners, the one who practice it, the one who works in the classroom, not somebody else. Okay, next one.
Aims to solve real world problems, not just build theory.
Okay, their aim is to solve the real world problem. If we consider about students can't write properly, it's a real world problem. If they don't like to work in groups and they want to work alone, even if a group work is given that they don't cooperate with each other, they just do they on their own, then it's a real world problem. It is not about building theories. So finding solutions to real world problems. Next one.
Involves a cycle of research, reflection, and action.
Right. So it has a cyclic process. What is there in the cyclic process?
Research, reflection, and action.
Planning, implementation,
implementation,
observation, planning, implementation, observation, and reflection. So it's a cyclic process. We plan, then we implement, we observe what's going on, they reflect. We reflect whether this is good or not, whether it should be changed. Right. Then after that, we take some measures for that. Right. Next one.
context specific, not focused on broad generalization.
Right. Now, if you have a problem in your school, and if you find a solution, you can't generalize it for all the schools. It is your students' problem. It is who you found solutions for that, for their problem. So you can't generalize it with the others. මේක හැමෝටම කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා කියන්න බෑ. Next one.
Encourages collaboration and participation.
Right. So you have to encourage collaboration. You need the support of different people, and their participation is encouraged. Then
Practical in nature and grounded in day-to-day
last one.
practice. Empowers
Practical in nature and grounded in day-to-day practice, so that we are finding solutions for day-to-day problems. Next one.
empowers educators as agents of change in their settings.
Okay, empowers educators as agents of change agents. So now we heard about reforms. So empowers educators as change agents. They want to change this system. They are change agents. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි මේ වෙනස් කරන්නේ. පද්ධති වෙනස් කරන අය. Right? So they be empowered බලය ලබා දෙනවා. Right. Next one. All right. Right. So here are some of the reasons why action research is important. Why is action research important according to this? Just tell one by one. Yeah, read one by one. Can anybody read what is given on the screen? Can you all see? It is not visible. Okay, read now. Here are some of the reasons why action research is important. Can somebody read the first one?
Enhances reflective teaching and critical self-evaluation.
Right, enhances reflective teaching. So we reflect, after teaching we reflect. අපි ඒක අපෝ මේකද උනේ කියලා බලනවා. And critical self-evaluation. So after that, we evaluate ourselves about the lesson. What went wrong, what was good, like that. Next one.
Bridges the gap between theory and classroom practice.
Right, so bridges the gap. There's a gap between theory and classroom practice. Theory is totally different from the activities, classroom practice. So then there's a bridge. There's a gap. Gap එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ gap එක සම්පූර්ණ කරන්න bridge එකක් හදනවා. Bridge එකෙන් එහා මෙහා යන්න පුළුවන් අර gap එකේ. So then bridges the gap between theory and classroom practice. ඒ දෙක අතර තියෙන අර හිඩැස මේට හදන පාලමක්. Next one.
Empowers teachers as practitioner researchers.
Right. So teachers are practitioner researchers. Practice and researchers. Next one.
Addresses real world issues through context driven inquiry.
Okay. Empowers teachers as practitioners or researchers. Addresses real world issues through context driven inquiry. So I told you real world problems, they don't like to work in groups, and sometimes they are isolated, they don't like to discuss the things with others, share ideas. Right. So then that is why it's called context driven. That means in our context, that means teaching context, that we have a lot of problems. We'll discuss them today. Next one.
Support school improvement and students' outcomes.
Okay. It supports the school improvement and the students' outcomes. Next one.
Promotes professional development in collaboration.
Okay. Promotes professional development. So teachers, by doing action research, they are professionally developed. Yes, professional development and what is it?
Collaboration.
Okay. So that is very, very important. Professional development. Who professionally develop through action research?
Teacher.
Teacher. So who collaboratively engage in it?
Students.
Students. Okay.
Students.
Next one.
Enhances reflective teaching and critical self-evaluation.
Okay. Right.
We have done
Builds
that.
confidence and fosters innovation in teaching. So then, if we find something new, we can practically use with the students. So it builds confidence and fosters innovation and in teaching. Innovation means like a flipped classroom like thing. So we can implement in the classroom. So even if you have learned something else, you can implement. If you have learned some handicrafts, you can implement in the class. So like that. Okay, so thereby they build up confidence and fosters innovation in teaching. Okay. Next one. Can you see now? Can you see the diagram?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay, action research model. This is a cycle, right? Drawing on the work of Kurt Lewin. So according to Kurt Levin's theory, they have created this model. So what is the problem? Problem statement, data collection, analysis and feedback, action planning, taking action, evaluation and follow-up. So this is the cycle, right? So then we have a problem. So we select data related to it to know whether there's a problem or not. Analyze the data and give feedback. Then action research planning. So we have to plan the action research. After planning, what is done? After planning, what is done? Now you discussed about it. What is after planning? අප කිව්වේ cycle එකේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Planning. මොකද කරන්නේ? plan කළා. Oh, I showed you a cycle. Planning. First you plan, after that implement, after that observe, then finally
Reflect.
reflect. Okay. So there are different ways we can collect data. Surveying, group surveys, individual surveys, one or two-way surveys. Interviewing, we can group interview නැත්නම් focus group. Group එකක් කතා කරගෙන ඒගොල්ලොත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. This focus group is consisted of individual interviews, structured interviews. Observing, අපිට observe කරන්න පුළුවන් ආකාර මොනවද? Direct observation, indirect observation, participatory observation. So we can observe through anecdotal notes, checklist, journals, we can find data. Then assess. How can we assess? Portfolio we can assess, tests we can assess, records we can assess, recordings we can assess. So after assessing, what is done? Assess කළා මොකද කරන්නේ? If the problem is still there, again we plan, implement, observe, reflect. I කරනවා. This one. Ethical consideration in action research. So when we are doing an action research, first we have to take permission from the principal, sectional head, then sometimes from the parents, Another thing is we can't use their photos. Even if you use photos, you have to you have to cover their eyes in their photos. Even you can't write their real names. It is ethically wrong. You can give A, B, C, D or name of a flower or whatever it is. Right? So these are the ethical consideration. That means ethically we can't do these things. Right. Okay. Now, any problem that you have regarding action research that we learned so far, because I am going to give you some time to identify your problems in the classrooms, right? So anything that you did not understand, tell me, then I can explain it again. මොනවා හරි කිව්ව එක තේරුම් නැත්නම් කියන්න එතකොට මම ආයෙ කියලා දෙන්න. Anybody who wants any description again? තේරුණාද මුකුත් තේරුම් නැද්ද? Everything is clear? මුකුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ? Right, now I will give you 10 minutes to find problems. List down the problems that you encounter in the classroom. So when you are teaching in the classroom, the problems you identify. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes. Now it's 8:20. So by 8:30, you have to list down the problems you encounter. Can you do that? Yeah, can you do that?
Can
Okay, right. Now within 10 minutes, right? Okay. If you have any problem, you can ask me, right? Okay. 10 minutes that you list down all the Right. Okay. So each one, you tell me the problems that you encounter in your classroom. Jayakala, can you tell me the problems that you encounter in your classroom? The problems. Kaushalya.
A lack of interest and motivation of the students.
Okay. Lack of interest and motivation of the students. Before that, you tell me for how many children we can do action research. Can we do the action research for the whole class? Can you do the
Can't.
action research for the whole class? No, we have to
Can't.
select some students. Those who
Yeah.
now imagine if you consider about your whole class, everybody is not in. Everybody doesn't lack the interest. එහෙම නැති ඔයාගේ තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ. If the
Yeah.
whole class lack interest in the lesson, that means the teacher is boring.
Oh,
Teaching
yeah.
methodologies are boring. But if you consider about the whole class, and if there are 5 to 6 students, so 7 to 8 students, less
Yeah.
than 10 students that who are not interested, then you can do an action research to find solutions to the problem, right? Okay, lack of interest of some students related to the lesson. What else?
Language barriers. Some students may
Language.
struggle to understand the language of instruction, especially English,
Okay.
second language.
They can't understand the instructions. Okay. Right. Then
Learning difficulties.
learning difficulties. So you have to minimize that, narrow down. Learning difficulties means lots of things. If we consider about learning difficulties, sometimes psychological problems. So sometimes due to um, uh, lack of
Discipline.
motivation. So then you can't say learning difficult. Sometimes maybe they have some physical problems. So you have to narrow it down. Okay. Right. What else?
Difficulties in reading. That means difficult to identify the letters.
Difficulties in reading. Okay, letters and words.
Students easily distracted.
Yes, they get distracted.
Limited resources.
Okay.
Distract.
Limited resources is something that is physical, but you have to consider about the limit resources we can supply. That is not a problem. So we have to improve the students or some methods. Then again,
Mixed ability levels. That means some children learn very fast and the others are very slow.
then you have to consider about the slow learners.
Yes.
There are some students that who learn. There are some slow learners. Okay. Then
Disrespectful behavior of some students.
okay.
The children who may come with the emotional and the social problems, that mean the come with stress and the family problems.
But you can't find solutions for that, ne? If they have some family problems that you can't find solutions, think of something that you can find solutions. Maybe that students they find it difficulty is in reading, then
Writing.
difficulties in writing letters properly.
Letters.
Okay.
Letter formation.
Then they don't like to work in groups, right? So if they have that kind of problems, that you can find solutions. Now,
Letter
yes.
reversal. Letter reversal difficult to identify the difference between B and D, P and Q.
Yes.
Like
So, yes, they cannot identify the letters properly. So then, now what you have to do is, now you have to find the most burning problem. Now you have identified lots of problems, right? So out of them, find the most burning problem that you have in your classroom. Okay. Now find one problem. Now imagine of research. If you are done, tell me.
Can you repeat it once? I couldn't hear. There's a connection error.
So now, okay, right. Now you have identified lots of problems that you encounter in the classroom. Out of them, find the most burning problem. This is your problem for the action research, and you're going to find solutions for that. Everybody has to now there are 9 people. All 9 people should tell your the problem that you're going to select for your research.
Difficulties in reading.
Okay. So your problem is difficulties in reading. What do you
Yeah.
mean by difficulties in reading?
Oh, some students can't read, then they can't identify what is the question they are going
Some
to
students can't
read properly.
read.
They couldn't understand what is the question itself, and they can't write the answers properly. Because of that, they cannot read.
Okay. Right. So then they can't read the words that is given in the text properly. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Language problem, language barrier, especially English.
if
They
we consider
don't
about language, it means that's a broad thing. What can't they understand?
that when you're reading and writing also, they couldn't understand the language. Some people, they are the mother tongue also, they very weak. That we can't teach in English them also. So we should improve the language barrier.
So then it is, if we consider about language barrier, it's too big. But we can't now. Imagine you are given 2 months for this research. So then within 2 months, can you improve their language? So if you have this kind of thing, if you are an English teacher, maybe the students find it difficult to construct sentences using present
Simple
continuous
sentence.
or past tense.
Simple sentence.
Yeah, okay. They can't use past tense and past continuous properly, or present tense and present continuous properly. So like that, you can you have to
Teach the basic grammar.
find some problems that you can find solutions within a very short period of time. Right? It should be very narrowed down thing. Right. Another one. Another one. Tell me.
Handwriting issues. They find difficult to find to write the formation of letters correctly.
Yeah, letter formation.
Yeah.
So proper letter formation, problems with proper letter formation, right? What else?
diverse learning abilities.
What do you mean by diverse learning? Then it is not a problem.
Students learn at different speeds.
Then what can you do for that? You can write. So that means there are slow learners. You mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So then even slow learners that you can't. You have to select one area that you can improve in them, right? You have to find, that means you can't, you have to select something that you can do within very short period of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Then,
Some students are not attentive to lesson.
yes, so the less focused on the lesson or less attentive. So then what can you do for them? So you can use different visual aids, different methods. Okay, less attention towards the lesson. Okay, what else? Others? Everybody should tell your problem.
Students have difficulty in understanding unfamiliar vocabularies in reading passages, find difficulty in understanding unfamiliar vocabularies in reading passages.
Difficulties in understanding. Is it understanding or reading or understanding?
Madam, that means in reading
I can't hear you properly.
passages, they
Ah,
couldn't understand some.
yes. So then students find it difficult to understand vocabulary in their reading text. Right? So then you can find solutions for that. Okay. What else? Others tell. Yeah. What about the others?
Get some words from
Everybody has to tell
primary
your problem.
classes.
Because next day, okay, what are the problems? What are the problems that you encounter in your primary classes? Yes, tell quickly. Oh,
Behavior problems.
what do you mean by behavior problems?
That mean disturbing and shouting.
So then, how can we make it? Now, what? So you have to find solutions. Some students do not engage in lessons during teaching learning process, or during so you can talk about your subject. So during the English period, some students misbehave. So what can you do for that them? Okay, what else? Others? Because now this is the problem that you are going to select, or else you can think at home, and tomorrow we are going to prepare some objectives for these problems. So that's why you want to make it sure that this is the problem that you are going to select for your research, because I'm going to guide you further. For that, you have to identify the problem properly. So tomorrow during the lecture, we are going to prepare some objectives. Therefore, now that's why I want to make it narrow down, because if you take a broad topic, you can't do. You are given only a very few months to do, maximum 3 months. So within 3 months, you should be able to find solutions for the problem. So therefore, it should be a small problem, not a very big thing. Others, those who did not tell me, Did you all tell me your problem? Anybody who didn't tell? Anybody who couldn't identify a problem, tell me. So when you are teaching, imagine there are some students who don't pay attention. So they play with their pens or talk to their student friends, or they hit or fight. So you can take these children as your problem, or your, so these children are your disturbance they make disturbances in the classroom, so it causes you a lot of trouble. You can't do your teaching properly. So then you can select the students and do some research, action research, to overcome the problem. Maybe when you are giving group activities, they don't like to work in groups and they want to, so maybe that there's one child who is dominating the group, that he finishes quickly and hand over. He doesn't discuss with others or share ideas with others, work with others. So then you can do something for this kind of children. Maybe in the classroom there are some students who find it difficult to read. When you ask them to read, they can't identify vocabulary. When they are writing, they make a lot of mistakes in past tense and past continuous, or present tense and present continuous. They can't identify present tense and past tense verbs. So like that, you can select some small problem and find solutions. Right? So therefore, all should have a problem when you come tomorrow, because we are going to design some objectives. So we'll discuss what are the objectives and how can we prepare them, specific objectives and general objectives. So here that we can have specific problems for your specific objectives for your problem, right? Any other thing you want to clarify? So now we discussed, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. What about comprehensive problems? Will it come under reading?
What's that?
Will it come under reading or comprehensive? That
Yes, comprehension. Yes. Comprehension, difficulties in reading comprehension, that comes
yeah.
under reading. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Students cannot understand instructions properly. Then, yes, what else? So then we discussed about action research. So action research, if we consider about the action research in education, who does action research? Yeah, who does?
Teachers.
Teachers, right. So then through action research, who will improve?
Teachers.
Reference.
Yes, teachers. Teachers, they are the people who improve, right? That this is for improving teachers, but as a byproduct, students also improve, right? Okay, then so what kind of problem we have to select for our action research? So what kind of problem we have to select? We have to select a problem that we can find solutions within a short period of
3
time,
months.
right? So we
Probably.
can't find, if we consider about writing, if we take writing problems, so writing means very broad thing. Writing essays, writing free verses, or writing poems. Writing is a broad thing, so we can't use that kind of broad thing. It should be narrowed down, like that. Students are unable to use present tense and present continuous tenses in their writing properly. So they are unable to identify present tense and past tense verbs properly. So like that. So for the small problem, you have to identify in order to find solutions for your research. What else? Yeah, what are the other problems? reading problems, writing problems, then vocabulary, grammar, behavior, don't pay a lack of attention, right? So these kind of problems we can take to find solutions for the find solutions and to overcome these problems to make your learning teaching process very smooth and successful, right? Okay, so now what you have to do is when you come tomorrow, you think further and write down all the problems you encounter in the classroom and identify a single problem and narrow it down like this, improving correct letter formation of grade 3 students in a 1AB school in Kaluthara, like that. So you have to narrow down the problem. So that means that you can't do an action research with different schools, ne? So you have to do an action research with one class. Even if you take one class, only very few students you have to select for this, right? So then you should be able to finish it within the selected time period, right? Okay, like that. By tomorrow, can you find a problem and come? So then we'll prepare some objectives for the problem that you identified. Anything you want to get correct, that means get clarified? Okay, anything you want to get clarified that we have done so far?
For me, no, ma'am.
Okay, right. So then we'll continue the work tomorrow. So tomorrow, when you come to the class, you have to identify a problem because this is a continuous process. For 4 days, we are planning until we do until you all come to a position that you are going to do your research proposal presentation. So after that, you are given 2 weeks period to get ready for the research proposal presentation. After that, again, I guide you for one day to write the dissertation, right? Okay, so then next week tomorrow we will meet and everybody has to come
Okay,
that
madam.
means come out with the definite problem that you're going to select for your action research, right? Okay, right. Then since
Madam,
you don't
can
have any
you send
problem,
the
we'll these two, okay, I'll send these two
Yeah.
to the group, right? Okay, right. Okay, then good night.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.